All right, so this will be notes number 5 for you. So what you want to do is put your number 5 up here. Okay, and this is going to be power of powers. That sounds like a very cool name, power of powers. But in this case, what that means is a power is an exponent. And it's going to be exponents of exponents. So we're going to deal with something that has exponents and then another exponent on top. So don't get confused by it. This isn't like the multiplication part. This is called power of power. You got an exponent and then you've got another exponent. So it's going to be a kind of a weird looking thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to color code some of these two with you. So if you need to, go ahead and grab you some pencils if you've got some, so you can highlight and color code with you. So here's what a question of what you'll look like to see. It's going to be like this: 2 squared in parentheses, and it's going to be raised to another 2. So this is what we've got. The first thing is, before I can go ahead and just tell you how to do this, we're going to actually try to put it in expanded form so you can see it first. Okay? So to do this, I'm going to first expand the 2 squared. So when I expand the 2 squared, I'm going to color that right there in green. So I'm going to color that in green. And when I expand that 2 squared, I'm going to end up actually getting 2 times 2, and it's all going to be raised to the second power. Okay? So now I have 2 times 2 to the second power. Well, what does that mean? That means I need to write 2 times 2 twice. So this in expanded form is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And that right there will be my answer, and I'm going to color that one in the light blue. That's what it is in expanded form. Alright, so when I expand that out, that's what I get. Then I can take this blue and make it into my exponential form. Well, what do I have? I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those, so it's 2 to the 4th power. There's going to be no reciprocal because it is positive. And in my standard form, it's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2 more, which is 16. So this is my expanded form right here in this little box here, or the circle. This is my exponential form. This is my standard form, all of 2 squared to the second power. Now look at the pattern of how we did this. How did we use these 2's to get that 4? What operation could we have used? Did we add? Did we subtract? Did we multiply? Or did we divide our exponents? So I want you to think about, what did we do with these 2's here to get this 4? Could we have added, multiplied, subtracted, or divided? Think about it. Okay? Let's try another one. So here comes our next one. I don't know. Let's do this one. Let's see here. Negative 3 to the first power, all raised to the third power. Okay? So since we don't know the rule yet, let's just expand it out. Okay? So let's expand the negative 3 to the first power first. Okay? So when I expand that out, that's just going to be negative 3. And then I still have the third power still raised to the third power because it's outside of the parentheses. Okay? Now I have this third power, and it's raising the negative 3 to the third power. So I just expand that out by doing negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. And I'm going to color that one in blue because that's my expanded form. So this expanded form, negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, is the same as negative 3 to the first power times negative 3. Let's get it in exponential form. Well, I have 1, 2, 3 3's, and my base is going to be negative 3 to the third power. So this is the same as this, and this is the same as this, so they're all the same. To get my standard form, I just multiply those negative 3's. I get negative 27 from my standard form. And there's no reciprocal because that's not a negative exponent. So I don't have a negative exponent, so there's no reciprocal. Now I want you to think, what did I do with the 1 and the 3 to get this 3? What rule did I use? Okay, did I add the 1 to the 3 to get 3? Did I multiply 1 times 3 to get 3? Okay, if I added here 2 plus 2 to get 4, and I add 1 plus 3, does it give me 3? Can I multiply 2 times 2 to get 4? And multiply 1 times 3 to get 3? Maybe that might be the rule. Let's see. Let's try that rule of multiplication and see if that works out. Okay, let's just see if it does. So I'm going to use this one here. 5 squared to the third power. So I got 5 squared to the third power. Okay, I'm going to square this, expand it out. So 5 squared expanded out is going to simply be 5 times 5. And then I've got the 3 raised to the third power in the outside. So there's what I've got. Okay. Now I've got to take that 5 times 5 and raise it to the third power. So I'm going to take this 5 times 5 and write it out 3 times, because that's what that 3 tells me to do. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 2, and I'm writing it out 3 times. So there's what I've got. I've got 1, there's 2 of them, there's 3 of them. So how many 5s do I have? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be 5 to the 6th power. And it's no reciprocal because it's a positive exponent. But let's look. Let's look at what our theory was. Is 2 times 3 6? Well, let's think. 2, 4, 6. It is. So when I multiply 2 times 3, I get the answer 6. Let's check this one. 1 times 3. Is it 3? It is. 1 times 3 is 3, so when I multiply, that works. What if I multiply 2 times 2? Does that give me 4? It does. 2 times 2 is 2, 4, so there's 2 right there. 2 times 2 gives me 4, so it works. So my rule is here that when I multiply, which is the times, the exponents, and the base will stay the same. So I'm going to multiply the exponents, and the base will stay the same. So let's try that. So if I give you one like this here, let's see here, negative 4 to the third power to the fourth power. Okay? Now let's just see if we've got that. So according to the rule, it says I multiply the exponents and the base will stay the same. So here are my exponents, 3 and 4. So when I multiply 3 times 4, I get 12. And my base is going to be negative 4. So that's my answer, what it's going to give me. So now I can check and put it in expanded form, and I can put it in standard form and go from there and get my answer and see what I get. So if I want to put that in standard form, I can do the 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 12 times, negative 4 12 times, or I can just put it in my calculator. Negative 4, hit my little caret button, which is under the clear, 12. And it gives me some huge number, 1677216. And there it is. Standard form. I'll try one more with you just to show you. So if I put one here, if I do this one, let's see here. Let's do 5 squared to the second power. Okay? I want to write that in exponential form. I find my exponents, which I recognize that this is a power to a power, or an exponent to an exponent. So I'm going to multiply. So it's going to give me 5 is my base. 2 times 2 is 4. Is this a negative exponent? Nope. So I don't need a reciprocal. My expanded form is just 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And when I do that 5 to the 4th power, I'm going to get the answer 625. Okay? So, down here at the bottom, I want you to use this rule. Multiply the exponents. The bases stay the same. You're going to get one of these papers here, your organizer. All right? And what I want you to do is I want you to do these problems. So this is what I need you to do. This is 4 squared to the, I need you to put the 2 here because my computer program won't let me do that. To the 2 power, to the 2nd power. I need you to work on negative 2 raised to the negative 2 times 1 to the 1st power. 3 to the 4th power to the 2nd. And then negative 3 to the 0 power to the 5th power. Okay? So you can use this form here, your order, and you can just write down your problem. There's number 1, number 2, number 3 that you have to do, and then number 4. Okay? Follow what it says. Multiply your base, multiply your exponents. The base stays the same. Get your exponential form. Take the reciprocal if it's negative. Expand it and give me in standard form. Then have me, Mr. O, check it and see what you've done and maybe to make any corrections. After you finish this and I've checked this, you'll need to go on to your IXL and you are going to take a look at, I think it's F11 and at an 80%. Okay? So you'll be able to use your rest of your organizer on F11 at 80%. Okay? So I'll let you guys go ahead and get to that. Thanks for listening. Ask any questions. Bye.